Oh Jesus, that's.
This how y'all feel?
Funny? You know what's so funny? Above that is one of our boys. Keep up the good work,
yeah,
guys.
I know.
And then the next one, stop the podcast. Take your own advice. Sell the mics. Hang it up.
Take your own advice.
Podcasts aren't for anybody. Then this other kid said, people do anything for clicks. I clicked on his profile. It's just him, grown man, by the way, posting thirst traps. And
I'm
then
a visual learner.
Yeah, he posted, I'm a visual learner, and no women replied. It was just dudes.
I'm a visual learner. 3 likes. Show me some. Yeah, man. You got it, bro.
Episode 27. Cue the intro.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GetBack podcast. I'm your host, Damian and Dusten, here with
Ayden Jones. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to episode 20. I said 27 in the pre-intro. Isn't it 28?
It's 28.
28, because J.K. Dobbins' episode was the last
You know
episode.
who this one is.
28, who?
Tennessee Titans legend?
CJ2K. I'm okay with that.
CJ2K's time right here. He doesn't get talked about enough. We're gonna just leave it there. We're gonna leave it right there.
He doesn't. But if you don't know, I'm Damian Dusten. This is our host,
Ayden Jones. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got some stuff to talk about this episode. It's not gonna be an NFL special like the most recent episodes. We got some more stuff to talk about. Some fights is happening.
And I'm
tonight.
happy that it's all back. I'm happy it's all. And you know what? Soon, I feel like a little longer, we can talk NBA basketball.
I give them about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm gonna let the little preseason get along. We're not gonna jump that crazy.
Bronny went 1 for 12.
That's so messed up to even talk about it. He said he wasn't gonna talk about this.
I had to drop it for the
Let's
one
get
time.
You ready to get in the ball?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm absolutely ready. What game you want to talk about first? I think it's only fair if we talk about that game against the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. And
you know what was funny? George Pickens said that he didn't even know it was possible, which is kind of crazy. He didn't know that it was possible that a game could end in a tie. He didn't know. And I'm not saying I agree. Do you think that it should be college rules where they shouldn't end in no OT? It should just be fighting to the death?
God, that's so hard for me because injury, especially with how we've been riddled with injuries this year. That's so hard for me to say keep playing the game. But yeah, I feel like 40-40, the fans are loving it.
You changed 2 big OT rules.
There has to be a winner.
That's what I'm saying. That's not a rule you can change.
To your point, I think it would have to be college. You can't. It would have to be like college rules. You can't have those guys kick off and then
no kickoff. I don't think it should be on the 25. Put them on the 50. Not even 50. You want to have the 40?
30. Yeah, do it. Put it in field goal range so the kickers can decide it too.
I don't think that's fair.
It is fair.
I think at the 50, knowing how much power people have now, I think the 50 is fair.
I think the 35 is better.
35 in the college is 25?
Yeah, just 10 more yards. Big boy yards. 10 yards is big boy yards, especially.
At least
we'll
40.
get into that game later. 40. We know a yard can change the whole game. The Rams know that. And we'll talk
about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
Let's talk about the Packers.
Game. Yeah. I love what I saw out of Jordan Love and Dak Prescott. The quarterback play to me was amazing.
I thought you were going to say just Jordan Love. I love what I saw out of Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Love, because it ended up leaving us in a shootout, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like both of them couldn't miss. I think Jordan Love has an uphand because Romeo Dobbs has the big skull cap on. I think anybody from even the top row in that stadium could see Romeo Dobbs' Guardian cap everywhere.
And I'll say this, something that's been a real pleasant surprise for this Green Bay Packer offense is Tyler Kraft. I mean, they're getting some play. Yeah, I know you're excited.
For sure.
They're getting some play from their tight ends, which is huge, especially when you lose Jalen Reed to injury.
Which I think they had to step up. He said after his big game, obviously, we have a 5-headed monster right now. Where they still have, Golden finally had his game.
He finally had a good game.
He finally had his game where he looked like he was getting targets. Like, I think Jordan Love, OT, it was 2 specific plays that he didn't look at anybody else. He looked at Golden, strictly right there. And one thing I really liked, like no other rookies, he's put out his hands. He didn't catch the ball like this,
but his chest.
He caught the ball with his hands. Very smart play.
And I'll say this, though, because obviously ended in a tie, which for me, when I look at a tie, I just think it's a loss for both teams because I know nobody wants to end in a tie.
At all.
I'm really surprised that Green Bay defense let up 40 points against an injured-filled Packers offense.
No
I mean,
CD.
Cowboys offense.
No CD Lamb. Pickens obviously showed out. He had
Pickens
a
showed
very,
out.
a very generational game that I think every Cowboys fan wanted to see. But there's no way that the Packers, as well as we've talked about their defense all year, should have let up 40 points
They
to an
shouldn't.
injured, especially knowing the thing around the whole game, like Mike is returning everything. They shouldn't have let up 40.
I will say this though, when I look at now when I took after this game, I took a step back and I looked at the roster and I looked at the defense. They have great front four. They have great linebacker core, good safeties.
Yeah.
Their corners, I think that's where they're lacking just a little bit. If they are lacking on the defensive side of the ball, it's just on the cornerback position. Obviously, they lost Jair.
Yeah.
This was a shell of himself anyway because of all those injuries. But it's the corners, and I think that's where they're going to run into trouble in these big games. Obviously, they beat Detroit. I think Detroit is starting to catch the rhythm now with the new coordinators, like I said last podcast.
I think that was also just a first game type
first
of thing.
game.
Like you could tell since that game, they've been a complete different team.
This game, even though they put up 40 points, I think they lose to a Lions team.
In a rematch?
In a rematch and in a playoff game, which is bound to happen. And I also left this game saying, you know what? Cowboys get CeeDee Lamb back.
But I mean, since
Why
the
not?
first week,
They could be a
they've
wild
looked
card
like a
team.
decent team. Like I think like our main thing, obviously going into the season, was they lost Micah. Like, are they going to be the same team, or are they going to start off just terrible? Looks like they're not like they're just getting manhandled. That's all.
No,
they're not getting manhandled.
because they're off. People don't know. For the people who don't know, they have the number one offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
For yards wise, but defensive wise, they're dead last.
That's fine. Their running back, Javonte Williams, is also giving them good games every single game.
Every single game.
Every single game. He hasn't failed once.
And I think that's just him 2 years removed from the ACL.
Yeah.
And I think he's just fully catching his stride again. Because we saw him in Denver his rookie year and the before the ACL injury. He was a beast. He was running through guys. He almost kind of reminded me just of a speedier Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Almost a little bit.
I'm looking at Pickens' numbers, man. 8 receptions, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man averaged 16.8 each catch. Like he went off. He went off.
He did, and I think that's the type of production you're gonna need to have from him in the absence of CD if you're gonna want to win games. And George Pickens, to me, he's a hot wide receiver in the sense that you give him that type of game, he's bound to have it the next game.
Yeah,
he's only gonna heat up from here
for sure.
And it's almost like, I'm not comparing these two wide receivers, but in the sense that they're hot and cold. It's like AJ Brown. You give AJ Brown a really good game, then he'll catch his stride. Which we'll get into that team later. But yeah, Packers Cowboys, they gave a classic, in my opinion, game of the year, even though there was no winner.
Okay,
but
I think we're gonna have to see. I think we could possibly see something better, but I think that going out to the shootout,
tie.
Both of them it was a pretty good game. The next game I do want to talk about, only because of how it kind of ended, knowing all like how much pressure it had on the Ravens and the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs ended up winning 37-20. Ravens,
and apparently we need to sell our podcast and get rid of our equipment for our take on this. But to me, this game, while it was shocking, it was also kind of like, I don't know. I almost thought that in the back of my head, because I wanted the Ravens to win, obviously. The Chiefs were bound to not good. They weren't going to let themselves go down to be 1-3.
But you could say the same thing about the Ravens. Like before the game, I didn't think the same thing about the Ravens. Knowing them in my division, they're not going to go 1-3. Now they're 1-3. So I mean, I think we probably both thought the same thing.
They are, and I think the big thing for the Ravens is their defense has been so underwhelming. And now you suffer so many of those injuries that it's like Marlon Humphrey. Now you have your D tackle out for the year.
Yeah.
Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith gave you 2 tackles last game. That's it.
We're not talking about the biggest injury, bro. Lamar Jackson is now out for week 5. Lamar Jackson, what is that? I think it's a hamstring injury.
Hamstring, which is tough.
That's going to linger for the rest of the season.
Yeah, especially for a quarterback like him, who just is so predicated on using his legs for offense. This actually hurts Derrick Henry the most.
You think that he just has way more focus and pressure on him now?
Oh my God! If this was Madden, focus on pitch and dive.
pitch
I
and
mean,
dives, yeah.
are you kidding me? Now that I know that there is no threat of Cooper Rush running the
I
ball,
was about to say that. They do have one of the best backups in the league. Cooper Rush he's just very
throwing the ball, yeah,
accurate and consistent.
He
He's
is.
not going to have a crazy game where he's going to just give you a.
he can manage the game. Though.
He's a good game manager.
But the problem with that is, I think the Ravens' offense is so predicated on: is Lamar going to run? Is
Yeah.
it's a triple option? Are they going to throw the slant
You
to
have to do
Bateman?
so much. Like you could have to do a QB contain where you're gonna do a spy out there. Like who's gonna go in the flat? It's so much stuff that you have to plan with Lamar Jackson.
Now these teams can genuinely just drop back into their base defense
Right.
and just play the Ravens hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like you said, this is the most important injury for them. Even though they do lose their D tackle, God knows if Marlon Humphrey's going to play. But I will say that's another thing that I saw. Marlon Humphreys got picked on.
Yeah,
and we usually
a lot. And I told you before this past that podcast, I don't know what's going on with him. He not moving the same, bro. Like
He's
they're
not.
targeting this man. They're targeting him. You've never seen that.
It's almost looks like he's lost a step, which is it's just odd to see because I remember a year, 2 years ago, we were talking about Marlon Humphreys as one of the elite corners of the league.
He's so like buffed up too. So like when he's running, bro, it look like he'd be getting gassed by the little skinnier dudes, man.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do the Baltimore Ravens make the playoffs?
1-3. Their percentage changes just keep dropping down. Lamar's now out for week 5. I mean, unless you go the straight Bengals route and win out, that's fine. As long as I don't know. I mean, the Texans looked pretty good their last game. They won 26-0.
Titans
26-0.
Okay.
You guys won 20-12 against them. If they can possibly win that game, maybe. You had to win out the rest of the season, basically. Like you're not about to be able to lose as much in the AFC. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to lose as much. I feel like we're talking about the Ravens so much. The Chiefs got the dub. They're not 1-3. They're 2-2 now. Like I feel like they just saved themselves so much of a headache. What trade are we gonna make? Like they saved themselves right here.
They did to a certain degree, and I think what the real question is going to be is when they get Rashad Rice back.
Yeah.
What is the offense going to look like? Is Rashad Rice even going to come back fully to what we know? Obviously, he had the ACL injury as well. I think, people are just automatically assuming that Rashad Rice is going to come in and start just getting 100-yard games.
Right.
I don't think so. I think the Chiefs are back. I think they're starting to catch their stride. But I think it's Xavier Worthy's your wide receiver 1. And I think Rashad Rice is going to
came back great.
Yeah.
He came back great.
Exactly. And I think Rashad Rice is going to have to come in and not earn his stripes, obviously, because he was their wide receiver 1 before. But he's going to have to
free my dog. He ain't do nothing. He wanted to fight for anything. Patrick Mahomes is throwing in the ball immediately. Like Worthy and him are just going to be his 1A, 1B. He will be throwing the ball very evenly. I don't think
so. I think he's going to have to slowly integrate himself back into the offense.
Did you not see him in the offseason? Not the offseason. Like, remember before the season started, they were letting him on the field and everything. He looked real buddy to buddy with even the coach. It looked like everybody loves him. He's the greatest guy, and I think he's gonna get the ball when he gets out on that field.
Yeah,
I know because we're gonna have to spin back on the Chiefs to talk about Week 5. Chargers versus the Giants. Chargers going 3-0. They're playing a rookie quarterback, man. They think it's an easy dub.
Jackson Dart is the new quarterback in New York City.
This man called me like 3 different times while the game's going because obviously I'm watching other games. This man calls me 3 times. He's like, bro, he did it again, bro. He did something else. The man was running. He was throwing. It looked like he had it everything. Everything was down against that good Chargers defense.
Yeah, I think Jackson Dart really put on a show.
Yeah.
Obviously, the stats don't jump out at you. 13 to 20, 111 yards, touchdown.
You got to look at the game, though. Like the actual game, because Justin Herbert had only 203 with 2 interceptions. Like, it was one of those games.
He did, and I think that's a bigger storyline that we'll get into in a second.
Yeah.
But back to Jackson Dart. I mean, he played phenomenal. 10 carries, 54 yards, a touchdown as well. Obviously, he's on the injury report this week. He's probable to play.
Questionable. I think he will play, though. Possible. Camp's got to be, man. He on a CTE speed run, but I love him, man.
He is. But something that really concerns me, though, is you get the ascension of Jackson Dart at what cost? You lose Malik Neighbors for the entire year.
like they had to pay something. And that
It
was
was almost as if it was alchemist law of equivalent exchange.
basically
Uh,
they sold.
to obtain something of
Yeah.
equal value, something had to be lost, and I think it was the Jackson Dart Malik
What
Neighbors.
children are under the Giant Stadium right now? That's working the devil magic. Cause Malik Neighbors was balling out. No matter who. That's one thing about Malik. No matter who's his quarterback, he's going to ball out. And seeing him go down, that hurts.
I will
That
say
hurts.
though, their next game is against, I believe, it's against the Saints.
The
That's
0-4 Saints.
That's gonna be a good game in the sense for Jackson Dart to get.
It needs to be
going,
him get
passing
going.
the ball.
You also need to find who's going to be your number one now. Like, yeah, you can try to spread out the ball. Malik's out now, so now you can't just say, "Damn, Malik's out there somewhere." You have to find your number one, and it can possibly be Wandell
Or Slayton.
Slayton, possibly. I feel like Wandell. For the moment, right now, I think it possibly Wandell.
Yeah, and I think too they have Tracy Jr. Scatterboot. They have two good running
Yeah.
backs to lean off of too, and I really liked what I saw from Jackson Dart on his legs.
Yeah.
That can almost make your offense a little more diverse
For sure, yeah.
and it could help them big time. I think they
Any
beat the
dual threat.
Saints. I think they beat the Saints tomorrow. I think they actually do it handily too.
They should. I don't want to disrespect the Saints too much, but they should. Yeah, it's as simple as that. You got another game you want to talk about before we kind of switch over?
I do indeed. I do want to talk about the Eagles and the Tampa
Yep.
Bay Buccaneers.
Yes,
That
sir.
was a game that had, just big implications in the NFC, and we talked about it last podcast how important it would be for the Bucs if they
Very
had won
important.
the game.
And honestly, this was almost like a reverse of what happened to the Eagles last week. Because you think about the game, they started off. It was what 24-6 basically.
Yep.
The full coming, and that was going into halftime. They went into halftime 24-6. Game ended up 31-25. So basically the same thing that just happened to the Rams.
It was, and I left with a couple notes with this game.
Yeah.
I really do like. I still like that offense for Tampa when healthy.
Yeah.
I know Bucky got hurt. He's not going to play next week. I'll tell you what, Emeka Egbuka is going to be a star wide receiver.
He is.
And how fitting that Chris Godwin's starting to come back
Yeah.
into his own. I think that's going to be huge for them with
And
Mike out.
he came back. It says only 3 catches, but the 3 catches was
They were
good
important.
catches. They were important catches.
And that's just slowly working them back in. Something else. I'm going to be honest. I know they're 4-0. I know they're 4-0. And they're probably going to be 5-0. They're probably going to win a couple of their next games just because of their scheduling. Their offense does not.
Their offense
not
is
boring.
boring.
No,
Their
not even
offense
boring.
is boring.
It
Yes,
is. It is boring.
Very, yes, it is.
Their offense to me is not playoff sufficient. It's not playoff sufficient because even then,
I'm not gonna say that. I
Last
just think they're
year-
boring. I think they should still have a
last
decent
year
offense.
we saw AJ Brown, we saw Devontae
Yeah.
Smith, we saw these guys average big
But-
yards. This year, do you know both of them are only averaging 39 yards?
I feel that. Which I think the thing is more about
A game.
Devontae right now because last year AJ Brown kind of went through the same thing until the playoffs came. Taylor Hurst wasn't really throwing the ball. Remember they had beef. They had the beef that we didn't know
A
about.
manufactured
That's what I'm
beef,
saying.
yeah.
They had whatever we didn't know about, but people knew what it was. And they got into the playoffs, and Jalen Hurts knew what to do. He fed that man the whole playoffs. He fed him.
That's true, and you have to give Sirianni some credit actually
Yeah.
because when we think that their offense is like starting to stall, they come up with new plays. They had those two
You
two
called
shovel
it.
plays.
You called one of them. You called one of them, which was very, very odd somehow.
The fake tush push, it worked. I called it. It was a
definitely
touchdown
worked.
to
It was
Saquon
the
Barkley.
opposite way. You said it was going to go. It went the opposite way, but you called the exact thing they were going to run. That was tough.
But something else that I did like about their offense is they had these 2 shovel touchdown plays to Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
And it was almost tricking the defense. So the way the Philly runs the ball, if you can create these trick plays, they can be big hitters. And I
Yeah.
think that they just got away with those big hitters and won the game because if not, I think we could be talking about this game completely different and be talking about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won and beat Philly.
Yeah,
in Tampa. So
honestly, the way that game was ending, I thought it was going to be some magic. I mean, you look at how they held them to nothing in the fourth quarter. The third quarter, they still gave them some problems. Like it looked like their whole dynamic switched in that halftime. Everything switched over because the third quarter they came out really hot.
But here's my question to you. Obviously, we talked about this with the Bills last 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm going to read you off the Eagles schedule really quick.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me when they're going to lose their first game.
Okay.
Tomorrow they play the Broncos.
Win.
Giants.
Win.
Vikings.
Win.
Giants.
Win.
Packers.
Depending on how they're doing in 3 weeks, possibly a win. No, possibly a loss.
Lions.
Loss.
That's what I'm saying. November 10th or the 16th is a loss. That's when I think their first loss is going to come. Because not even that. These are 2 primetime games.
But that's what I'm saying. Their first loss, I don't know.
What do you mean? I think I would agree with you. I think the Packers or Lions, they definitely
Hold on.
they'll lose one of those games. I mean, if listen, I'm not just saying this just to be biased. I mean, before that, if you think they're going to lose before that, it'll be to Denver.
Yeah.
I don't see them losing to the Giants at all or the Vikings. So I think, yeah, probably the Lions. I think they beat the Packers.
Do you think that the Eagles beat the Packers? Based on if the Packers are losing or winning? Like, are the Packers going to win out the next couple weeks?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a really great game on primetime. They're both going to be winning teams. And, yeah, I think the Eagles squeak that one out. And then they'll lose to the Lions 6 days later in primetime again.
How far do you think the Lions going to the playoffs?
The Lions?
Lions.
With how they've been playing right now, they could potentially
missed the bad start. Obviously, the first week they've looked like a very complete team.
They could potentially go to the Super Bowl, and I'm not just saying that. I think Aiden Hutchinson is a monster.
And you want to talk about comeback off of injury, like off of injuries,
monster.
Like yeah, a full monster.
So going back to Eagles really quick before we pivot off pivot off. You think Packers or Lions first loss?
Lions are.
Give me the Denver Broncos tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm looking at the Lions, but the Lions are first in points, third in total defensive sacks, 8th in total defensive interceptions, 4th in total turnovers. Like I don't know. That could definitely be a spicy game for sure.
It can be.
What other game? Do you have any other games in this week before we switch over at all?
I was ready to switch over, man. I was already ready. Come on now.
My bad. You waiting on me? My bad. Week 5. We've already got one of the games. We've got one game that ended off in a
beautiful OT game.
And we talked about it a little bit before the podcast. And I asked the question. I said, why run the same play? Why run the same play? And I know we're gonna get more into it, but that's my initial question. You call a timeout. Sean McVay is a very great coach. I hold him up there with the Kevin O'Connell's. I hold him up there with those coaches. Call a timeout, OT. Run the same formation, the same motion, the same everything. Get stuffed.
But I think the real person that lost in this game was Kyren Williams. Even though he played a great game.
Very great game.
Up until the end.
Very bad mistake.
He did fumble at the 1-yard line, and they teach you, man, hold on to the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Especially there with 55 seconds left. Obviously, they got the ball back, brought it to OT, but boy, what that game could have been had they had scored that touchdown.
This game also was a shootout. I want to talk about Stafford first because I want to get more into Mac Jones in a little bit. Stafford played very great. Stafford always and the thing with Stafford, he will feed his
stars.
Boys. I mean, Devontae and Puka, even in the OT, the first 2 plays, he looked at only 2 people.
Yep.
Puka got his first. Devontae got his a little bit further down the line.
And I'll say this about Stafford. If he continues this type of play, he's already top 10 in passing yards and touchdowns. He could sneak just maybe below the top 5. And then we're going to have to talk about him.
Matthew Stafford, with his age, it looks like he doesn't age.
Yeah, but then this is going to lead into an uncomfortable conversation about where Matthew Stafford is on top quarterbacks. He's won a Super Bowl already, so you can't take that away from him.
Won a Super Bowl, basically fed Megatron for years, so all the stats are platted anyways. Where do you put Stafford in? Quick segment. Where do you put Stafford on your list?
Right now, I mean, he's a top 20 quarterback.
Top 20.
He's a top 20 quarterback, but
top 15?
Actually, you know what? Yeah, maybe top 15. And
no further. Don't do that. No further.
I'm not
literally 15 or 16 itself.
I'm not an idiot, but no, yeah, top 15, and maybe he's 15.
Yeah,
but if he keeps this level of play up for maybe 2-3 more years, we're now talking about him in some uncomfortable territory.
Because it looks like he can go for another 2 to 3 years.
But I will shout out somebody. Dan Orlovsky last year made a point, because we're going to pivot off of Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
He made a point that he said, if you were to put Mac Jones in the 49ers offense, he would play just as good, if
And
not
that's
better,
why-
than Brock
that-
Purdy.
That's kind of why I wanted to kind of wait to get into that, because
Mac Jones.
this brings, you want to talk about uncomfortable conversations? It's always been this conversation, always with the 49ers the past couple of years. How many quarterbacks you think could have really went in there these past couple of years and done the same thing, get the same extension, the same contract, all of that?
I think Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. I don't think we're
Good
really,
quarterback.
I don't think
We're
I think
talking
we're
about
really,
a great one that needs to lead their team.
I think Brock Purdy's better than Mac Jones.
Okay,
Healthy, of course.
healthy. That's fine. I just,
Now, Mac
in
Jones.
that system.
Mac Jones
In
in this
that
system,
system?
is playing phenomenally. I think also too, to get that type of play from Kendrick Bourne
Yeah,
was unreal. 10 catches, 142 yards from somebody who pretty much was a non-existent for a little
basically, yeah.
while.
Yeah, I think
For him to come alive.
he had a great game.
Yeah, I mean, you think about look back to the Jags game. He had 1 catch for 17 yards,
Yeah.
and then the game before that against Arizona, 4 catches, 38 yards.
If you want to really look at somebody, look at CMC, man. Look at CMC. Chris McCaffrey is having himself a year. He hasn't gone down once. Looks like he's gained his bearings back in the league.
He has, and he like I said, he put up over 130 all-purpose yards. He played phenomenal. I think he was a huge outlet for Mac Jones, which obviously your running back and tight end are going to have to be important,
Of course.
for your quarterback, for your backup QB. We saw Jake Tonges.
Tongas.
He had a great game he had a good game as well.
Yeah.
And I think you're just
Mac was spreading that ball out.
he was. And
Mac was spreading that ball out.
But
man.
I will shout out, man. You have to shout out Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
To get
For
Kendrick
sure.
Bourne 10 catches, Christian McCaffrey 8, Jake Tonges 7, Demarcus Robinson 3, Juszczyk 3, and then you got 2 other guys getting a catch apiece.
Yeah.
For the ball to be spread out, obviously it's Mac Jones, but it's also the play calling.
Of course. Yeah.
It's the play calling to understand that you have a backup quarterback that if you can get him comfortable, then he's going to reach his full
Right.
potential in that game. And that's simply what happened. In an injury-filled game for the 49ers, a game that they were written off by pretty much everybody,
Basically everybody.
they sneak it out, and they're 4-1 now.
That's what I'm saying. And now we can talk about it. Was it wrong of them to run the same exact play out of a timeout in OT?
It
Game
was,
on the line. You're going for it. So you're already being a little risky. You're saying I want the win. You're
Which
gonna
I
call the
agreed
same
with.
play. Of course, we all agree with. You're gonna call the same play?
No, I'm not, obviously. But then again, this isn't Madden. I'm not seeing the defense.
Yeah.
This also with the way that the Rams did establish the run later in the game, so I thought running it with Kyron wasn't a bad
Right.
call. I just think maybe the O line did blew up their gaps a little bit. So yes, it's on McVay, but it's also on execution.
Yeah.
You can't get me 1 yard. You
No,
went
because
all the way
that's
down the
thing.
field,
I
and you
know
can't
that
get
they
me 1
could have
yard.
got 1 yard, just not with the same play. Because they went out there, they gave him 10 seconds. They called the formation. Like I said, the guy motioned over, the tight end motioned over, and you could tell what they were going to run. Like you knew kind of what the play was going to be, and they did the same thing. So I think even you on the line, you would have probably knew what to do, and you would have stopped it. Like it's as simple as that.
But moving on to the next game, because obviously that was a masterclass
Yeah.
game. Well, honestly, it's up there with one of my favorite games of the year so far. I think we've been getting blessed with the Thursday night
We're actually
games.
getting blessed with games. Weirdly, I feel like a couple years they were giving us bad Thursday and Monday night games. I don't know what was going on. But
we've been getting
some
blessed.
sauce. We've been getting some sauce. Yeah.
Another game I want to talk about that I think is important to some implications
Yeah.
is these 2 1-3 teams. The Houston Texans go to Baltimore to play the Baltimore
Yeah.
Ravens. And I think this is a super important game for both teams because of where they stand in the division.
Yeah.
You look at Texans, who are projected to win this division outright. Hello, Indianapolis.
Yep.
You look at Baltimore, who was expected to run away with the division. A-Rod and the Steelers.
Just cooking. I mean, just cooking.
This is almost going to be this is the make or break game. Whoever loses this game, in my opinion, will then not make the playoffs. This is a playoff game, and it should be viewed as such. If the Texans lose, you are out.
Yeah.
The Colts are cooking. Uh, the I was gonna say something crazy.
Yeah, you had to just stop yourself. What were you about to throw out there? It could be a hot take.
Let me just make sure I'm
You're
not.
saying the Texans Ravens as a playoff game. I get that.
I was gonna say the Jags.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Houston will be out if they lose this game, and for the Ravens, I mean, to go down 1-4, you already don't have Lamar.
They're definitely in a tight situation. Like
It gets tricky because then, listen, I think they do bounce back a little bit and string together some wins.
okay.
But will it be enough? Did you put yourself in such a hole in the beginning of the year that
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to win out. You will have to win completely out for base the rest of the year,
I agree with that,
which is a little tough.
and I think it's an important game too for the quarterbacks too. To see Cooper Rush, to see how he does in
Yeah.
that offense is going to be important. To see if you can hold out Lamar for a couple more weeks till he's fully healthy, because obviously, like we said, the hamstrings are tricky. And for C.J. Stroud, a man who at the presser 2 days ago said, "I'm just not as athletic as I used to be."
Bro,
You're
man said
23
I'm
years
23. I can't even move as fast as I
you're
used to.
23 years old, and that's just a confidence problem. And I really think just him being a younger quarterback is a confidence problem. And for him to say something like that,
No, I think that he was trying to be like funny and like mature and stuff, and it just looked so bad. As a CJ Stroud fan, that wasn't a good thing to say.
but yeah, what are your predictions on that game? Who do you think wins?
I'm gonna say the Texans only because
Wow.
obviously the Ravens. It's just their defense. I'm not even taking this more of a Lamar thing. Their defense has showed me nothing. As I have had to bench them on my fantasy, their defense has showed me little to nothing. So I'm gonna take the Texans on that. Another big game that I'm really interested in: Bucks versus Seahawks.
Yes.
Bucks versus Seahawks. That's gonna be our 4:05 game, obviously with the Titans and Cardinals. That game's gonna be important. That will be actually an important game.
It is going to be important. I think the Seahawks definitely have the upper hand here.
Yeah.
With the injuries
Carry
to
the pot really
Tampa.
quick. I had to blow my nose. I'm so sorry. Carry it really quick. I just gotta blow my nose.
That's
I gotta
fine.
blow my nose.
I think with
Look, I still talk to him. I even still talk to him, bro.
what Tampa had to do in that game against the Eagles with Bucky Irving, because obviously we saw Bucky catch and receive the ball so well. For them not to have that on top of not having Mike Evans, I think this Seahawks defense could potentially have a field day if Baker can't get going. I think when we look at the Seahawks team, their offense is only getting better with JSN, Kenneth Walker, uh, the likes of who's their number 2 receiver. I'm drawing a blank here.
Number 2 receiver, probably not Fannin. Who's their number? Or I just said Fannin. Who's their number 2 receiver?
Regardless, is the receivers are starting to heat up more, and as the offense get better, we already know that what that defense is going to do.
Right.
So I think the Seahawks are going to take this game, and especially it's at the 12. It's at the 12. It's in Seattle. Got to give me the Seahawks, man.
I'm going to take the Seahawks because of defense. I don't know if it's going to be more of an offensive thing. I think they're going to actually lock up the Buccaneers. I think they're second in interceptions right now for
Cooper Kupp is their wide receiver too. I don't know why I blanked out on that. It's just maybe he hasn't been having the greatest
Cooper
year.
Kupp, you know what? I almost picked up Cooper Kupp and I looked at his points. He had one good game. Everything else has been pretty narrow for Cooper Kupp recently.
Can I say something really quick though about the Seahawks offense? If Torrey Horton can blossom into that wide receiver too, look out for the Seahawks, because I think Torrey Horton, especially when he was at Colorado State, he really put up some great numbers with what he had. And he did it against good teams at a collegiate level. I think he can be a great wide receiver. So watch out for Torrey Horton as well. Give me the Seahawks.
Like I said, I think I'm going to take the Seahawks one more time, only because of their defense. And Bucky Irving is most likely possibly not going to play. Bucky Irving last game gave them almost 200 yards with
all
receiving
purpose,
and all purpose. That's going to be big to take that away from obviously a team that just had their comeback from that guy, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
It'll be tough. It'll be a little tough.
Another game I'm really looking at that I think is important is going to be the Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't want to say it's a must-win for the Chargers, but to drop 2 in a row after losing to the Giants, it would hurt.
I would say this almost not a. I don't know if it's a must-win for either team, but it's definitely a win that you would want. for both teams.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're the Washington Commanders, you go down 2-3. That's gonna hurt a little bit. That's gonna obviously affect your process to get into the playoffs.
It does, and it would change everything that we had said about them
Yeah.
coming in. I remember saying that Washington was going to
Was gonna
take the division.
yeah. Because
I look stupid. You know what? Maybe we should sell our podcast equipment just based off that. But yeah, I think it's just because the injuries.
yeah,
I think obviously Jaden Daniels is
I
going to play this
feel
game.
like you can take some stuff away, but they've been
Yeah.
a very injured team recently.
So Jaden Daniels is going to play this game. So it's going to be it's going to be an even game. So
Yeah.
I'm really
I think-
interested to see who wins.
I'm gonna take the Chargers though. You watch the Giants game out. I know you did.
I did.
How many drops did the Chargers wide receivers have in
But
that
they
game?
have been playing well recently.
Very well. But you know how many beautiful balls paused? You know how many beautiful passes I saw from Justin Herbert out there? And I like Lad McConkey. Great receiver.
So wait, so who are you picking for this game?
I'm gonna pick the Chargers. I'm
Okay.
gonna pick the Chargers.
Me too.
I don't think they're gonna drop as much. That's what I'm saying. You watch the game. They're not gonna drop as the
So-
passes that were in their hands. they're not
Something that's
dropping.
crazy to me though is that the fact that the Commanders continue to leave out Marshawn Lattimore out on the field. It's time. I think he needs to do what Xavier Howard did, and simply retire. I can't believe I'm saying this. He's starting to turn into like an Eli Apple type of player. Marshawn Lattimore used to be a great corner,
Great.
locked down for 4 years.
Lockdown.
I'm not saying that before everybody says sell your podcast equipment again.
Lockdown.
He was a great corner. Just the injuries have he's lost the speed. He's
Stacked
lost
up
the
on
back
him.
pedal. His back pedal's simply not there anymore.
Stacked up on him, and now you're like you gotta just look like that. That's one position. It's a couple positions where you can get old and you can actually be there while still losing a little bit.
Yep.
Somewhere on the line, or maybe a quarterback or something like that. When you're out in that field, you in that back
So
barbecue.
but I think another thing for the Commanders that really hurts them is the loss of that run game. No Eckler
Yeah.
hurts. And that was super important to the Jaden McDaniels aspect of him running. And especially with Jaden McDaniels coming off of that injury, I don't think they're going to want to have him run as much.
You love the Minnesota Timberwolves, bro. You love the Timberwolves. Jaden Daniels.
Oh, my goodness.
We do this bro. It's either me or him. We gonna do it every episode. It's all right, bro. We love the
Jaden
Timberwolves,
Daniels.
bro. Yeah, Jaden Daniels. That's his name. Jaden Daniels.
What did I say?
McDaniels.
I said McDaniels? Oh, that's horrible.
We keep doing it. It's okay.
But
Sell your podcast equipment. Marion. My bad. Going ahead. My bad.
I think as time progresses, though, the Commanders team is going to start to
Okay.
settle in a little bit. I just truly believe because of the injury to Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels that he just won't be able to be as versatile with
Okay,
the ball
that's
and
right.
running it.
Before we switch over, because everybody switch over, I want to give two players some spotlight because obviously I feel like
Go ahead.
going into the season we didn't really care as much. Quinton Johnston is having himself a very good year so far.
Top 10 in receiving.
Top 10 in receiving. Marion Hampton. Obviously, after the first game, we were looking at him like,
After the first like 2 games, we were looking him like
that's fair. It's past 2.
2 or 3.
The past 2 games, he's played somewhat decent, bro.
Yeah, I would agree
Like,
with you.
to the point like you can actually say, okay, like maybe it wasn't
His
that
last
bad of
game
a
was
day.
the breakout game.
Obviously,
obviously.
yeah, obviously.
And show some love to, if you're going to show love to Marion Hampton, you have to give some shout out to the other rookie running back. They lost, but Ashton Genty, welcome back in your old stance,
For sure.
running the
Finally
ball good.
convinced
Chip
old
Kelly,
man Chip that his stance works. And look at what he did.
old man Chip.
Look at what he did, bro. Like
3 touchdowns, the hat
it's
trick.
it's no way that you try to limit you drafted this man 6th overall in your first round, and you try to limit him to
Exactly.
what's worked.
Exactly.
No way.
But I will
No
say,
way.
obviously, we're getting into the Raiders, which we're in some deep territory there. But some players I want to talk about that have been disappointing this year. Obviously, he injured the knee. Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
If you're a fantasy owner with Brock Bowers, I apologize. He has not been having the year that I think most people expected him to.
Yeah.
He's only eclipsed 50 yards one time, and that was the first game of the year when he had that 100-yard game. And for me, I think it's a Geno Smith problem.
Yeah.
But I think as time passes, Chip is going to start to integrate him more into that offense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to drop
I
in
don't
that.
the Chicago game. Obviously, when the Raiders played them,
Mhm.
Max Crosby. That's like I know you've seen that picture of the Bugatti next to that really beat up hood house. You didn't see that? That's Max Crosby every year. Him and Miles Garrett. That's them every year because
He is,
Max Crosby almost single handedly won in that game.
and it's crazy too because that Raiders defense, looking back at it, they could have been so good had they kept Jack Jones and like
You could have
couple of
kept
these
a couple
players.
people.
Yeah, like a
Like you
couple of
could
good
have
players.
kept a couple people on the Raiders, bro.
But yeah, they're just not a good team. But you know what? We'll keep it in the AFC West since you did that. I want to talk about a game real quick.
Yeah.
My hot take of the week for this podcast is going to be that I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football.
They're gonna probably sell your podcast equipment again. He said this last week, and the man was right. I looked at him a little crazy. He said that the game was going to end off. I think he said it was going to be like a 3-point game. Game was a 5-point game based around the same little points that he said, and the Jags put off a dub. So if he's confident with them beating the Chiefs, I'm rolling with it too.
I appreciate you. I just think they're starting to understand Cohen's offense.
Yeah.
I think especially Trevor Lawrence is starting to find his bearings a little bit. And Etienne, I mean, Travis Etienne is 19 last game, 19 carries, 124 yards, touchdown. We finally got a Brian Thomas Jr. sighting, 5 catches for 49 yards, which is okay. And listen, this is off of San Francisco's not a bad team. We know this. They had Brock Purdy, and they got a good game from Christian McCaffrey, and they still found a way to win. Josh Allen off the edge for Jacksonville is going to be big. I think he's going to go against Jawan Taylor. Give me Josh Allen in that matchup.
Yeah.
So
Josh Allen is going to take that matchup.
So I think if they get some pressure on Patrick Mahomes, still no Rashid Rice, you're in Jacksonville. Yeah. It's not like you're at Arrowhead.
Jacksonville's they're definitely a different team right now. Like, I think they're definitely looking pretty good. So I'll give you that take. It's not a bad take. Next week, because I feel like we're the next episode, we get to talk about the next Sunday games, but we never get to talk about the Thursday game, obviously, because it's before the pod. What do you have on the Eagles and Giants, really quick? I gotta put out something, man. Don't give me that look, man. And it better be a minute too. Talk.
give me the Eagles, and I think just for obvious reasons, just the defense alone, I think can stop that. Just
Jackson Dart comes out. All right, they're gonna tell us how the podcast coming. I'm not gonna go that way. Jackson Dart come out there. And,
no, I listen. They'll score a touchdown or something. But give me the Eagles. I just really think, no matter how boring the offense is, it's
compatible and it works.
Yes, that was perfect. It's compatible. I mean,
it works.
You have Devontae Smith, you have AJ Brown, you have the tools for it. I just think that the Eagles haven't fully utilized it all yet.
That's
Dallas Goedert's a good tight end.
He utilized him.
Yeah, and they 2 touchdowns last game. And I just think the Giants actually have a pretty decent defense.
Yeah.
This game could actually end up being like a 20-3 game. Like it'll probably be like 20-3 or something. I don't think the Eagles are just going to walk in and put up 30 points unless Saquon Barkley decides to rise from the dead.
Or unless Jalen Hurts will throw AJ Brown the ball. And no, not just AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Throw your receivers the ball.
That's very true. And the thing is, when you say all that, when you talk about AJ Brown, when you talk about this offense, you're almost surprised that they're not number 1 in the league in offense. It almost surprises you. But then again, I like I said, I give credit to Sirianni for some of the plays that he draws up, but I also gotta give him some flack because honestly, some of these games could have been handled a lot easier.
No, for sure. For sure.
And I can't believe I'm saying this. Oh, God, forgive me for saying this. We might have to sell our podcast equipment again. I think they beat the Broncos tomorrow, but I think they squeak by again. I think it's like the Bucs game. I think the defense for the Broncos is going to kind of just...
I told you this last week, and you looked at me crazy, bro. They could put up at least a fight, bro.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the Eagles are going to win. I think they're going to win by 2 scores towards the end. But the Eagles' offense, if they want to compete with the Lions and the Packers, and if they don't want to lose those 2 games in November that we talked about, they're definitely going to have to put on a good offensive outing in the next 3 weeks. I need to see something. And AJ Brown... Put another tweet out. You're gonna get traded. So I don't know what the tweeting is for.
No, because all you wide receivers, man, y'all are divas. It doesn't get worse than an NFL wide receiver. Y'all are divas, and y'all need to stop. It's as simple as that, man.
And honestly, if he posts another tweet, I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Hurts tries to fight him.
I don't think he's gonna fight him because you know who Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts, you know, he got to keep his trench coat on. He got to walk all smooth. He wouldn't do nothing like that. But just know he may be traded. And Jalen Hurts probably putting that work.
But yeah, we have some good NFL this week and the week after. But speaking of fighting, I think it's only fair that we jump in to UFC 20 tonight. We have
UFC 320.
we have quite the card. As Magomed Ankalaev faces #1 ranked Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight belt.
I want to. You know what? We're gonna save that. We're gonna.
You want to go backwards?
Let's go backwards, and we don't got to go that far back. Let's just go.
No, first I want to ask you about the first two of the main card.
Okay.
Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pfeiffer. Who do you have winning that fight?
I'm gonna say Pfeiffer. I'm gonna give him that fight.
Joe Pfeiffer.
We're gonna see what that happens. Obviously, it could get a little crazy, but I'm gonna give him that fight for right now.
Via
decision.
Okay.
Decision.
TKO. I have Joe Pfeiffer by TKO.
Not a bad take. That's not a bad take at all.
We then have at the featherweight bout, we have #8 Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Salel, ranked #9. Who do you have winning that fight?
I'm gonna give it to Emmett. I'm gonna give it to Mr. Josh, who we've gave a lot of love on the show. We've definitely gave him a battle because once again he's the closest. Shut up, bro. He's the closest person to knocking out Ilia Topuria. He's the closest person that we've ever seen to beating Ilia Topuria. Which, and they're like, what? He's one of the hardest hitters in the UFC. In the whole UFC.
Are you picking Josh Emmett?
Yes.
Oh, I'm picking Yusuf.
That's fine.
I think Yusuf.
I think it'll be a good fight.
I think Yusuf is going to submit Josh.
It'll be a good fight. I mean, it's an 8 versus the 9. Like, it'll simply be a good fight. But I'm gonna take Josh right now.
Wow. Give me Yusuf by submission. Who do you have? How do you have Josh winning?
Josh can also be by decision. Like, I don't think that he's probably gonna knock him out or anything. But I think they can go to a decision where he just holds himself off and whoops on him. Not whoops on him, but I can see it going to decision.
And now the last 3 fights of the night. I think we're gonna have to get in depth on these ones. We have #2 ranked Yuri Prochazka facing against #4 ranked Khalil Roundtree Jr. in a light heavyweight bout in a fight that I think has potential to be fight of the night.
Fight of the night, because I don't know where to go on this. I'm being so honest. I really don't know where to go on this. They're both coming off one, obviously, recently. Very kind of. I mean, man, this can be tough. This can actually be tough. I don't know. I really don't know. You think that Roundtree gets knocked out?
Who?
Roundtree. They're saying that
no,
I think very high chance.
I will say this. I think Khalil has a better chin than we give him credit for.
Of course, we know.
He took a beating from Alex Pereira. So
that's why we all gained to love him.
I don't think Yuri's going to get that one strike, but I think Khalil can get that one strike. We've seen Yuri's chin.
I think it's actually the opposite way for me. I think if it goes to decision, I'm gonna give it to Khalil. If he makes it that far, that means that Khalil held himself out and he gave us a show. If it ends early, I think it's gonna be a Yuri knockout.
I think if it ends early, it's gonna be a Khalil knockout. TKO. I think if it goes to decision, Yuri's gonna win. I think just because of the reach advantage. He has a 4-inch reach advantage. I think he's a lot more dynamic with his striking. Like I said, we see Yuri backspin elbow, back fist.
I'm thinking about the significant strikes though.
I'm totally thinking about that too. If it goes to decision, how could you not see Yuri, who's a tactician, with that bigger reach advantage?
I'm not gonna lie. Because I think Yuri's gonna win. Like, I think that he's gonna either TKO or gonna straight knock him out. So I think if it goes to decision, it means that Khalil has actually done something.
And who knows? Maybe Yuri might utilize the ground.
Could. I mean, he definitely could. I think this is gonna be more of a stand on feet fight, but I mean, they could go down there.
Give me your prediction.
Final.
I'll start. I have Yuri Prochazka via decision.
I'm gonna say. I don't want to say Khalil gets knocked out.
Khalil gets knocked out.
I'm gonna say.
It's a tough fight.
I'm gonna say Roundtree by decision.
Roundtree. Oh,
Roundtree by decision.
You and me are against each other on that. We got
Roundtree by decision.
We got to figure out what we're doing.
We will.
We got to figure out what we're doing because at this point, yeah,
this is gonna be a
already won.
card. Like I told this man this whole month, because we're gonna jump into the rest of the stuff. This whole month we're finally back. I feel like we kind of had a month and a half. Where
Yeah,
we
it was
just
kind of
we
lackluster a
were
little bit.
lackluster a little bit. We're finally we're back to action. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
obviously we have co-main event, which
Merab Dvalishvili.
I think a lot of people aren't super excited because they think that we already know who the winner is. It's gonna
That's
be a
not
good
true.
fight.
That's not true, especially with Merab. Obviously, Merab Dvalishvili is fighting number 4 Corey Sandhagen for the bantamweight title. Merab's weight cut was very rough. He did look sick. They had to put the banner around him.
The man went straight Brian Ortega on us, man. Like he looked like he was on the edge of falling out.
And we know what that can do to your chin. And obviously, he fought Sean.
Body.
Yeah.
To someone who's so like we call him a machine. Like he runs on an oxygen tank. That's gonna hurt. It has to.
It will. I think though, with a guy like Corey,
yeah,
I actually think he's more dynamic than Sean. I think Sean's striking, Sean's soul striking, boxing striking is more dynamic. But as it relates to mixed martial arts, the Muay Thai, the elbows,
everything
the knees,
for
everything.
MMA, any wrestling, any BJJ, anything like that, that's all Sandhagen. Sandhagen is a better fighter than, I mean, I'm sorry to say, he's a better fighter than Sean. He's a better fighter than Sean.
Do I think Sean would beat Corey? Yes, because I think Sean would.
It's more. That's what I'm saying. Look, it's more of a clip and where you're catching them at.
Exactly.
I think right now, you put Corey versus Sean.
I think Sean wins. I think Sean wins. I think Sean's that good striking. I really think so. And that's just me.
Disagree. I disagree. And I could be biased, obviously, seeing him losing 2 fights in a row, obviously, but
it is. That's what it is.
It possibly is. But I think Sandhagen, as vital as he is, where he knows how to do basically everything on a mat, I don't know. I may have to take that, man. I don't know.
So who do you have winning? Give me Merab.
I still probably take Merab. I think Merab, like you said, bro, he looked really bad. I've never seen him before a fight like that ever.
He was very pale,
like very pale, bro. I'm gonna take Merab. Yeah, I'm gonna be a smart. Take Merab. Does he go to decision or does he actually
decision?
Decision. Okay.
Yeah. Now give me the fight of the year potentially. I can't even pronounce
Magomed
Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight championship.
I don't want to go back to that tire shop, bro. That's what Alex Pereira said to him while they had their face off. This is gonna be one of the fights of all time, possibly. This is gonna be
a second round knockout by Alex Pereira.
Watch your mouth. We fully disagree.
Why. Yeah, I don't know why Ayden Jones he's giving. Listen,
because you want to know
Magomed
what the first fight that they fought. Obviously, we look at somebody who's 21-1 with the split decision, whatever. We look at that man. He went into that fight and he handled Alex Pereira.
I'm glad that we finally gave Alex a decent amount of rest to train for a fight.
I feel you.
Alex Pereira is going to look rejuvenized. He's going to be faster. His power is going to be more of a problem for Ankalaev, because that was the problem. His power was not threatening to Ankalaev.
I can't say that. I think that it was doing what it usually does, bro. I don't know. I feel like he was getting caught. Like it wasn't even him like wrestling. Alex was getting caught everywhere. I think that Magomed knew how to mix up his souls. He simply knew how to mix it up. And when he did, he was piecing him up. It's as simple as that. He pieced him up. You're gonna I don't know why. Why is it so hard for you to give it to that man, bro? You think it's gonna be just that bad?
Because I truly believe that Alex Pereira will knock out Ankalaev. I don't think Ankalaev truly understood the power that Alex Pereira holds in those two hands. They call him Poetan for a reason. That's stone hands.
Of course. So basically, Alex knocks him out. Is what you're saying?
I honestly think he flatlines him in the second round. I think he knocks him out. And I'm not just saying this because I used to not be an Alex fan. I'm not saying this because I'm a fan or anything.
Well, he was the villain. Obviously, when he first came in, he was a full villain.
But seeing him fight, seeing the way he knocks out, he's been training with Glover this entire time. God knows he's probably even gotten better on the ground now. So I don't think he's going to get manhandled on the ground by Ankalaev anymore. I truly believe with a full rep, Ankalaev won't even want to go down to the ground.
I don't think he's going to want to go to the ground either, but I think if they do, come on, bro.
I think he'll be able to get. You know what? I think you don't give Alex Pereira enough credit
I
for his takedown
do.
defense.
Oh, I definitely
His
do.
takedown defense,
I
you don't give him enough
do.
credit for.
Yes, I do. But who has a better one?
Well,
Who has a better?
Alex isn't going to try to go down the ground. He won't try to. But I truly believe that Alex Pereira is going to knock out, flatline, Ankalaev in the second, or TKO him in the second round.
I disagree. I disagree. I think that Ankalaev is going to show us what he showed us in the first fight. No matter how much time Alex had off to himself or how much rest that he's got, I think it's going to be the same result. That's all.
What are you gonna do when he knocks out?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna make my own little post. I'm not even gonna tell this man. I'm just gonna make my own little post.
I told you guys.
Post it.
I thought Alex was gonna
Yeah,
win.
bro. I told this man Dana Alex was gonna get the knockout via second.
Sickening.
I'm gonna tell you.
Sickening. One more fight before we wrap up this podcast. I do want to talk about is the
I
new.
got 2 more fights.
Oh, you have two more fights,
bro. I told you October's heated.
Okay.
October's heated for now. What's your fight you want to
I
talk about?
want to talk about the new fight that we've been gifted. Obviously, Faziz being out. Charles Oliveira versus Matthias Gamrot.
You know what? Do Bronx, man. Do Bronx loses. Do Bronx loses, man.
I don't see Do Bronx losing.
Do Bronx loses.
And listen, I think grapple wise, it's going to be a great fight. I just don't see Do Bronx losing because of the way that I think Gamrot can get knocked out.
Gamrot's coming off a win. I mean, we look at I don't know. I think that we're finally actually seeing the light go off for Charles Oliveira. Like, I think like it's starting to kind of dim. It is. We know that he won't be a champ anymore. And I think that this, if he loses this one, it's gonna be that fight where we say, "Damn, like, is it actually time? Like, is it actually kind of like, is it?"
I think Charles is just worlds ahead of him.
You know, I want to see Charles win.
I know. I think Charles is worlds ahead of him as it relates to striking.
Yeah.
And on the ground, I think it's even game.
No. If it goes to the ground,
it's even game.
I think Charles got the upper hand on the ground. Actually, I think Charles has the upper hand on the ground.
Then why don't you see Charles winning
on the feet? I think
on the feet. Charles hasn't beat.
If that goes to decision, Charles loses the fight. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
I can't agree with that.
Man, we're disagreeing over everything, man.
I got Charles winning.
I hope Charles does win.
I do not think Charles is going to sub Gamrot by any.
So what do you think he's going to do? Just straight beat him up for
TKO him or decision him?
I will hope
Simple
so,
as
man. That's our unk right there, man. Do Bronx.
What fight did you want to get into?
I feel like we don't got to go that deep into the cards. Let's just talk about the two main fights of these UFC Fight Night: the Ritter versus Allen. What do you have for that fight?
Well, this is a middleweight. This has to be if the Ritter wins, this next in line for the champ.
That's why I kind of want to talk about it because I feel like he's the first person in line right now to go get a belt. He would have to, right?
Depending on how he beats Brendan Allen, I see no reason why he wouldn't. I really wanted to see him fight Hernandez.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't get it for whatever reason.
Because Hernandez deserved it too. I think like the Ritter, he's kind of made his way. I think Hernandez kind of deserved that fight actually.
But yeah, give me the Ritter. I think the Ritter's going to win handily.
And Allen's on a pushover, but okay, that's fine. Obviously, last one I kind of want to talk about. We have UFC 321, obviously in the same month. This is all for October, ladies and gentlemen. Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. What do you have for that fight?
I have it lamb to the slaughter.
Tom
Aspinall is just gonna run through Cyril Gane, and I honestly think he's gonna do what John Jones did to him.
I don't know if it would ever be that quick.
No. He's gonna prove that point, and I think he's gonna prove that point to John.
That's a good point because he honestly kind of has to.
He's gonna prove that.
John Jones did that in 2 minutes, dog.
John, you know what?
John Jones did that in 2 minutes. I don't think Cyril. I don't know if Cyril Gane's he won't let that happen again. I don't think so. No way. Not in 2 minutes. That's gonna be an actual fight. Like that's gonna go until.
No, it won't. Do you want to know why? The average fight time for Cyril Gane is 14 minutes, 15 seconds.
The average fight for Tom is only 2. I know.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
That fight will be over in 2 minutes. Cyril Gane will feel Aspinall's power, which is just worlds different of any heavyweight in the division right now.
He's trained a lot since that fight.
That's great. You can train all you want.
I don't think he's gonna win, but 2 minutes? Like, yeah. Damn.
I truly believe that Aspinall's gonna take him somewhere uncomfortable, and that's on the ground, and he's just gonna assert himself. and he's gonna be like, you know what, John did this to you. I'm gonna do it to you. It's not like we saw Gon go to Dagestan and learn wrestling. He didn't go to Dagestan.
He actually wanted to go be an actor. So you know what?
I'm sorry. You really need to look
not
at that.
2 minutes. I'm still not
You
gonna
can't.
know.
You need.
No
I'm
way.
trying to get
He
you
makes
on
at
my
least the
bandwagon here.
second round.
No.
Yes.
Why? What makes you believe that? If
Bro,
Tom,
no
if Tom
way
takes,
he just gets
if
knocked
Tom-
out in
if
2
Tom-
minutes, bro.
No,
No,
forget
he's
the
13
knockout.
and
Forget the
2.
knockout.
What is
Forget
it?
the knockout. Don't look at a knockout. If Tom
Gets a
double
hold
legs
on?
him off rip
Really?
in the first 30 seconds, what?
Bro.
You think Sirigon's gonna get up? Be real and stop. Don't lie. Mind you, Tom walking around already weighs 15 more pounds than Sirigon. So he's probably gonna outweigh him by like 20.
Bro, Sirigon's not getting done in 2 minutes again. That is so disrespectful. He's the number 1 contender, bro. No, bro.
You're so crazy.
No, bro. We're
You
gonna
are
do.
so crazy.
Why you want to disagree so much at the end of the episode, bro? You got beef?
I'm not. There's
Sell
no
your
beef.
podcast equipment, bro.
Sirigon is a great striker. Tom Aspinall is a great mixed martial artist.
He is. He is.
This isn't pride. This isn't FFC. This isn't.
Sirigon doesn't get put out in 2 minutes. That's all I'm
Yes,
saying. I'm
he
not saying
will.
that he wins the fight. He just doesn't get put
If
out
he
in 2 minutes.
if he gets down on the ground within the first 30 seconds, he's done in the first round because he's going to get elbowed and hit so many times in the face.
Puts him in a crucifix
They're-
as soon as he goes down.
they're going to have to stop that fight. You know what? You're right. Sirigon won't get knocked out unconscious. He will get his face so bloodied and battered in that first round if he gets taken down that the ref Herb will have to come in and stop it himself.
Damn.
But I don't see. I've watched Tom's trainers videos.
Yeah.
He's hitting that bag so hard it's smoke coming out of him.
I know.
I'm sorry.
He got one of the superhero
To your
punches.
point, Sirigon is being an actor in movies right now. I feel you. He's a great star for the UFC. This is a lamb to the slaughter.
That's fair.
And you need to look at this fight as Tom's taking this personally from a John. You know what, John? You did it. I'm gonna do it too, just to show you that I was better than you.
He won't do it better. He's not ending him in 2 minutes, bro. John Jones basically like
He'll do it in the same amount of time.
No way.
If not, he'll take him the first round. But that's it. First round over.
He made it to the second round. Are you ready to wrap this? My nose is running so bad, bro.
Yeah, we're good to go. I'm ready to go. We got good fights tonight.
Sirigon
UFC
makes it to
320
the second
tonight,
round.
ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to tap into that. And make
Yes,
sure to
sir.
tap into the Get Back podcast,
see
YouTube,
us here.
Instagram, TikTok.
Episode
And make
28
sure-
CJ2K episode.
And make sure to comment, sell your podcast equipment, and SYBA
You.
you.